This is a passage from the Journals of Soren Kierkegaard, 1a, 11-16, dated September 12, 1834 through February 9, 1835. It's about the master thief. I am amazed that, as far as I know, no one has ever treated the idea of a master thief, an idea that certainly would lend itself very well to dramatic treatment. We cannot help noting that almost every country has had the idea of such a thief, that an ideal of a thief has hovered before all of them, that men have imagined a certain ideal of a thief, with some broad general features which have then been attributed to this or that actual thief. The master thief has also been thought of as one endowed with natural goodness, kindness, charitableness, together with extraordinary bearing, cunning, ingenuity, one who really does not steal just to steal, that is, in order to get hold of another person's possessions, but for some other reason. Frequently we may think of him as someone who is displeased with the established order, and who now expresses his grievance by violating the rights of others, seeking thereby an occasion to mystify and affront the authorities. He is thought of as stealing from the rich to help the poor, which does indeed indicate magnanimity, and that he never steals for his own advantage. In addition, we could very well imagine him to have a warm affection for the opposite sex, something that on the one hand indicates a bright spot in his character, and on the other gives him and his life a romantic quality, which is required in order to distinguish him from the simple thief, whether he steals in order to provide, if possible, a better future in his beloved's arms, or whether in his activity as a thief he is conscious of being an opponent of the established order, or an avenger against the authorities of some injustice, perhaps, committed by them against him. His girl walks by his side like a guardian angel, and helps him in his troubles, while the authorities are in pursuit to capture him, and the populace, on the other hand, regard him suspiciously as one who is, after all, a thief, although perhaps an inner voice sometimes speaks in his defense, and at the same time he finds no encouragement and comfort among the other thieves, since they are far inferior to him and are dominated by viciousness. The only possible association he can have with them is solely for the purpose of using them to achieve his aims, otherwise he must despise them. Such a master thief will also boldly and candidly confess his crime and suffer punishment for it as a man who is conscious of having lived for an idea, and precisely thereby he acknowledges the reality of the state, and does not, as one might say, disavow it in his life. He opposes only its abuses. We could also imagine him as one who would make fools of a court, but we must regard this as a kind of jest about the whole thing, and an expression indeed of a vanity entirely consistent with his idea. He will never abandon candor, and he will come with his own confession as soon as he has demonstrated how he could hoodwink a court. He, the master thief, is not a man who tries to lead others astray. On the contrary, he dissuades them from leading such a life. He has tasted its bitterness, and he endures it only because he lives for an idea. He scorns base thieves, and yet fate always drives him together with them. The one who is closest to him, his true friend in life and in death, is no thief, loves him, and will sacrifice everything for him. He is eager to lead him away from the wrong path he has taken, but knowing his vehemence, he does not dare to speak to him about it. Frequently the master thief also feels extremely unhappy about his position, about his being regarded by many as branded. He feels misunderstood tragically. I would prefer to think of such a master thief as someone who had lost his father early in life, and now has only an old mother whom he loves dearly, and she him. While the mother is shocked by her son's errant ways, however, his beloved completely overlooks his bad side, happy to possess his love, although she perhaps scarcely dares talk about his love, lest she betray him. I would want to emphasize particularly his relationship to his mother and to his beloved in order to indicate his geniality.